There's a game being played around you right now. Look closely. In your office, in your relationship, on the news, even in your own family. There are two types of people in this game. There are the puppets, and there are the puppeteers. The puppets believe they're free. They believe their thoughts are their own. They believe their choices are their own. They get angry when the news tells them to get angry. They buy what the ads tell them to buy. They crave validation from people who do not care about them. They're dancing on strings they cannot see. And then there are the puppeteers, the silent ones. They do not shout. They do not force. They do not beg. They simply nudge, and the world moves for them. If you're listening to this, it is because you are tired of being the puppet. You are tired of feeling like someone else is holding the remote control to your emotions. You want to see the strings. And more importantly, you want to cut them. Welcome to the forbidden archives of Dr. Elias Thorne. You won't find Dr. Thorne on the bestseller lists. You won't find him on morning talk shows. For 30 years, Dr. Thorne was a shadow advisor to CEOs, politicians, and diplomats. He was a man in the corner of the room who never spoke, but who told the powerful exactly what to say. He called his philosophy the Silent Puppeteer. This audiobook is not about being nice. It is not about positive thinking. It is about control. It is about the psychology of influence in its rawest, darkest form. Some will call these techniques manipulative. Some will call them immoral. Dr. Thorne called them necessary. We are going to cover the first 3 laws in this session. We will learn how to bypass the conscious mind, how to make people trust you instantly, and how to use silence as a weapon that destroys your opponent's confidence. But a warning before we begin. Once you see the strings, you can never unsee them. You will look at your friends, your boss, and your partner differently. You will see the mechanics of their behavior. The magic trick will be ruined forever. If you are ready for that, then put on your headphones, close the door, and listen carefully. Let's begin with the foundation. To control a conversation, you must first understand that human beings are not logical. We like to think we are, but we are not. We are emotional creatures who use logic to justify our feelings. The silent puppeteer never argues with logic. He manipulates the emotion and lets the victim provide the logic themselves. Dr. Thorne wrote in his private journals, "If you try to change a man's mind, he will fight you. If you change his mood, he will change his mind for you." This brings us to the first law, the most fundamental tool in the dark psychology arsenal. It is called the mirror of Narcissus. Most people think they know what mirroring is. They think it means copying someone's body language. If they cross their legs, you cross your legs. If they lean back, you lean back. That is kindergarten psychology. That is amateur hour. If you do that, you look like a weirdo. You look like a mimic. The mirror of Narcissus is deeper. It is darker. It is based on a simple, ugly truth about human nature. We are all obsessed with ourselves. We are all secretly in love with our own reflection. When we meet someone who reflects our soul back to us, we become addicted to them. We trust them implicitly, because trusting them feels like trusting ourselves. So, how do you become the mirror? You do not mirror their actions. You mirror their void. You find what they are missing, and you become that. Imagine you are speaking to your boss. He is loud, arrogant. He dominates the room. What is his void? What is he missing? He is missing validation. Deep down, he is terrified that he is not important. The amateur argues with him. The amateur tries to prove he is smarter. The silent puppeteer becomes the mirror. You validate his ego, but not with cheap compliments. You use a labeling technique. You listen to his rant, and you say calmly, "It sounds like you're the only one who sees the big picture here." Boom. You didn't agree with him. You didn't say he was right. You simply labeled his internal feeling. You held up a mirror that showed him a genius strategist. And because you showed him the image he wants to see, he will lower his defenses. He will think you are brilliant because you recognize his brilliance. This is the essence of Law 1. Do not show people who you are. Show them who they want to be. In every conversation, there is a hidden desire. The person complaining about their spouse isn't looking for advice. They're looking for a mirror that shows them as the victim. The person bragging about their money isn't looking for financial tips. They're looking for a mirror that shows them as successful. When you become that mirror, when you feed that hunger, you bypass the critical mind. They let you in. They tell you their secrets. They lower their guard. And once the castle gate is open, the puppeteer can walk right in. But there's a trap here, a danger. If you mirror too perfectly, it feels fake. It feels like flattery. To make the hook stick, you need the second law. You need to make yourself feel safe, yet superior. This leads us to the art of strategic vulnerability. Part 2, the art of strategic vulnerability. Law 2, the art of strategic vulnerability. Dr. Thorne once said, "Perfection is repulsive." Think about it. Have you ever met someone who seemed too perfect? They are always happy. They are always successful. They never say the wrong thing. Do you trust them? No. You hate them, or you suspect them. Your brain screams. What are they hiding? In the game of power, trying to look perfect is a suicide mission. It raises shields. It invites envy. It makes people want to find the crack in your armor. The silent puppeteer does not hide his flaws. He weaponizes them. This is called the pratfall effect. Psychologists have proven that if a competent person makes a small mistake, their likability goes up. Why? Because they become human. They become relatable. But in dark psychology, we take this further. We use strategic vulnerability to mask our true strength. Imagine you are in a negotiation, or a first date, or a job interview. You want to control the outcome. If you come across as too smooth, too polished, the other person will be on high alert. They will be looking for the catch. So you give them a crumb. You give them a calculated weakness. You confess a small, irrelevant sin to hide a greater agenda. Dr. Thorne called this the decoy flaw. For example, you're negotiating a deal. You know you are going to ask for a very high price later. Early in the conversation, you might say, "I have to be honest. I'm terrible at organization. My desk is a mess right now." You smile. You look a bit embarrassed. What happens in their brain? They think, "Oh, he's honest. He's admitting a fault. He's not a shark. He's just a guy with a messy desk." They relax. They feel slightly superior to you. And that is exactly where you want them. When people feel superior, they stop analyzing you. They get sloppy. You use this small confession to buy their trust. And then, when the moment is right, when you drop the high price or the big request, they accept it. Because honest people don't scam you, right? And you already proved you were honest by admitting your messy desk. This is how con artists work. This is how great seducers work. They tell you a secret about their childhood. They tell you about a fear they have. You feel special. You think, "Wow, they're opening up to me." So you open up back. You tell them your real secrets. You tell them your real fears. You give them the ammunition to destroy you because they gave you a blank bullet. Strategic vulnerability is a trade. You trade a fake weakness for their real trust. But how do you choose the right weakness? It must be a weakness that does not damage your competence. If you are a surgeon, do not say, "I have shaky hands." That is a bad weakness. Say, "I care too much about my patients sometimes." That is a noble weakness. If you are on a date, do not say, "I'm broke." Say, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to old movies. It makes you charming. Harmless. The goal is to lower the threat level. When you appear harmless, you become dangerous. The wolf does not wear a sign that says, "I am a wolf." The wolf wears sheep's clothing. Strategic vulnerability is your sheepskin. Wear it well. Now we have mirrored them, Law 1. We have disarmed them with vulnerability, Law 2. They like us. They trust us. They are talking. Now we need to extract information. We need to know what they are really thinking. And to do that, we must stop talking. We must enter the vacuum. Part 3, the vacuum of silence. Law 3, the vacuum of silence. The man who cannot be silent cannot be powerful. Dr. Elias Thorne. We live in a world that is terrified of silence. Notice the next time you are in a conversation. A pause happens. 1 second. 2 seconds. What happens? Panic. The other person starts fidgeting. They laugh nervously. They check their phone. Or, most likely they start babbling. They start revealing things they didn't mean to say. Silence is not empty space. Silence is pressure. It is a heavy physical force. And the silent puppeteer knows how to increase that pressure until the other person cracks. This is not just about being quiet. This is a technique called the pull and pause. It is used by interrogators. It is used by therapists. It is used by master negotiators. Here's how it works. You ask a question. Why did you miss the deadline? Or where were you last night? Or is that your best offer? They give you an answer, a prepared answer, a safe answer. I was busy with emails. Most people would accept that and move on. But you do not move on. You do nothing. You keep looking at them. You keep your face neutral. You maintain soft eye contact. You wait 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. For seconds, in their brain, an alarm bell starts ringing. Why isn't he responding? Did he not believe me? Does he know the truth? Is he angry? I need to fix this. The pressure builds. The vacuum pulls at them. And then they break. They start talking again. I was busy with emails. And, well, honestly, I just forgot to check the calendar. I was distracted by the other project. Boom. The truth comes out after the silence. The first answer is a lie or the partial truth. The second answer, the one that comes after the silence, is the real truth. You didn't ask for it. You didn't demand it. You just waited for it. You let their own anxiety do the work for you. This is why this book is called The Silent Puppeteer, because the strings are pulled in the silence. But you must have the courage to endure the awkwardness. Most people break the silence themselves because they feel awkward. They rescue the other person. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. No, do not rescue them. Let them sit in the discomfort. Discomfort is where the truth lives. Dr. Thorne laid out 3 types of weaponized silence. The scrutinizing silence, this is what we just discussed, use after they speak. It implies, I don't believe you, or tell me more. It forces them to expand. The anchoring silence, this is used when you state your price, your boundary, or your opinion. I expect a report by Friday. And then silence. Do not justify. Do not say if that's okay with you. Do not say, I know it's tight. Just state it and freeze. The silence anchors your statement. It makes it sound like a law of physics. It cannot be moved. If you speak after your statement, you dilute it. If you stay silent, you solidify it. The withdrawal silence. This is the most aggressive form. This is when someone is disrespecting you or shouting or being unreasonable. You go completely cold. You do not argue. You do not defend. You look at them as if they are a boring television show. You withdraw your energy from a room. This creates a vacuum of validation. They are screaming for reaction, and you're giving them nothing. This usually causes them to stop, sputter, and eventually apologize, because fighting a ghost is exhausting. Mastering silence requires control over your own ego. Your ego wants to be heard. Your ego wants to be right. Your ego wants to explain. You must kill that urge. Let them talk. Let them fill the air. While they are talking, they are revealing their cards. While you are silent, you are hiding yours. Information flows from the talker to the listener. Power flows from the talker to the listener. Be the listener. Be the void. Part 4. The triangle of control. We have now established the triangle of control. These first 3 laws work together in a cycle. Step 1. The mirror, law 1. You enter the interaction. You focus entirely on them. You validate their ego. You label their emotions. You make them feel seen. This opens the door. Step 2. Strategic vulnerability, law 2. You lower their defenses by admitting a small flaw. You make yourself appear harmless and relatable. You trade a fake weakness for their real trust. This invites them inside. Step 3. The vacuum, law 3. Once they are comfortable, you deploy silence. You ask a question, and then you use the void to pull the truth out of them. You let them over-explain. You let them hand you the keys to their mind. This gives you the leverage. This sequence happens in minutes. In a job interview, you mirror the interviewer's values. It sounds like this company values innovation above all. You use vulnerability. I used to be a perfectionist, but I've learned to prioritize. You use silence when they ask about salary. You state your number, and then you wait. In a date, you mirror their passion. You share funny, embarrassing story vulnerability. You use silence to build sexual tension and mystery. It is a dance. And the beautiful part is, they never know they are dancing. They think they are just having a great conversation. They think you are charismatic. They think you are a great listener. And you are, but you are also the one steering the ship. Dr. Thorne wrote, "The best puppet master is the one who makes the puppet believe it is pulling its own strings." As we move forward into the next hour, into the next set of laws, things will get darker. We have covered how to build trust and extract info. Next, we must learn how to implant ideas. How to make someone do what you want while thinking it was their idea. We will discuss the illusion of choice. We will discuss gaslighting for good, reframing reality. And we will discuss the ultimate law, the withdrawal supply. But before you proceed, ask yourself, are you ready to wield this power? Because once you start using these laws, people will change around you. They will seek your approval. They will fear your silence. They will tell you things they tell no one else. You become the center of gravity. Take a break now. Process what you have learned. Practice the silence. Practice the mirror. And when you are ready to go deeper into the rabbit hole, I will be waiting for you in part 2. The strings are in your hands now. Don't tangle them. Welcome back. If you're still listening, it means you did not run away. It means you have accepted the darkness. You are ready to graduate from reading people to controlling people. We start with Law 4, the illusion of choice. Dr. Thorne observed a fundamental flaw in the human operating system. Human beings hate being told what to do. It is called reactance. If you tell a child, go to bed, they fight you. If you tell an employee, do this task, they resent you. If you tell a partner, you are wrong, they dig in their heels. Direct orders create resistance. But if you let them choose, they own the decision. The master puppeteer never gives orders. He gives options. But here's the secret. He rigs the options so that he wins either way. This is called the double bind. Imagine you want a client to sign a contract. The amateur says, please sign this by Friday. The client feels pressured. They might say no. The puppeteer says, "Would you prefer to finalize the paperwork on Thursday morning, or would Friday afternoon be better for your schedule?" Notice what happened? The option no was removed from the table. The client's brain switches from "should I sign this?" to Thursday or Friday. They feel empowered because they are making a choice. But you are the one who built the maze. This works everywhere. In dating, I'm going to that new jazz bar tonight. You can join me for a drink, or you can stay home and be bored. Up to you. You frame the second option as unattractive. You guide them to the first option without forcing them. Dr. Thorne called this inception. When someone believes an idea is theirs, they will fight to death for it. If you give them the idea, they will doubt it. So, how do you plan an idea? You use leading questions. Don't say, "This project is too risky." Ask, "How do you think we should handle the risk factors in this project?" When they answer, "Well, maybe we should be careful," you nod. That's a brilliant insight. You say, "Now, they think they discovered the risk. They feel smart, and they will follow the cautious path you wanted them to take all along." The illusion of choice is about becoming the architect. You design the building. You choose where the doors are. They can walk through any door they want, but all the doors lead to your destination. Stop arguing. Stop commanding. Start offering choices. A or B. Now or later. My way or the hard way. But make the hard way sound very, very hard. Control the options and you control the outcome. Part 6, the reframing prism. The reframing prism. Reality is not objective. Reality is subjective. Two people can see the same event and feel two completely different emotions. Why? Because of the frame. The frame is a lens through which we view the world, and the person who controls the frame controls the reality. Dr. Thorne wrote, "There are no facts. There are only interpretations. He who holds a prism decides the color of the light." This is also known as gaslighting for good, or reality distortion. When a crisis happens, people panic. They look for a leader to tell them what it means. The puppeteer steps in and defines the meaning. Let's say you made a mistake at work, a big one. The victim frame says, "I'm so sorry, I messed up. Please forgive me." This makes you look weak, incompetent. The puppeteer uses a growth frame. He says, "I'm glad this happened now, rather than later. We have uncovered a flaw in the system that we can fix before the big launch. This was a valuable stress test. Do you feel the difference? You took a disaster and reframed it as a stress test. You are not incompetent. You are proactive. You can use this in arguments. If your partner says, 'You are obsessed with your work. You never spend time with me,' the amateur defends, 'I have to work to pay the bills.' This validates their frame that you are neglectful. The puppeteer reframes, 'I am working this hard because I want to build a future for us. I am doing this for you.' Suddenly, your ambition is not selfishness. It is an act of love. You have changed the meaning of your actions. This is extremely powerful. You must never accept someone else's negative frame. If they call you stubborn, you reframe it as principled. If they call you aggressive, you reframe it as passionate. If they call you quiet, you reframe it as observant. Words have magic. By changing the word, you change the emotion associated with it. If you can master the reframing prism, you become bulletproof. Insults bounce off you. Failures become lessons. People will start looking to you to interpret their lives. What do you think this means? They will ask, and you will tell them. You will paint their reality with your colors. But be warned, this requires total confidence. If you hesitate, the frame shatters. You must believe your own distortion. You must speak with absolute certainty, because in a world of uncertainty, the man with the strongest frame is king. Part 7. The Withdrawal of Supply, Law 6. The Withdrawal of Supply. We are now entering the dangerous territory. This law is about addiction. How do you make someone obsessed with you? How do you make them crave your presence? Dr. Thorne studied casinos. He studied slot machines. He found that the most addictive pattern in the world is not constant reward. If a slot machine paid out every single time, you would get bored. If it never paid out, you would quit. The most addictive pattern is intermittent reinforcement. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. You never know which one is coming. The uncertainty creates the addiction in relationships, business, or personal. Most people give constant reward. They're always nice. They're always available. They always compliment. They become boring. They become supply. And human beings do not value free supply. They take it for granted. To become the puppeteer, you must become the slot machine. You must give, and then you must withdraw. You give them intense validation. You make them feel like the most special person in the world. You mirror them, Law 1. You open up to them, Law 2. They get high on your attention, and then you pull back. You don't reply to the text for 6 hours. You become a little cold in the meeting. You stop giving the compliments. You become busy. What happens in their brain? Panic. What did I do wrong? Does he not like me anymore? I need to fix this. Their dopamine crashes. They enter withdrawal. And then they start chasing you. They work harder for your approval. They try to win you back. And when they work hard enough, you give them the reward again. You smile. You validate them. The relief they feel is euphoric. It is stronger than the first time. You have hooked them. This is a cycle. Warmth, coldness, warmth, coldness. Push, pull. Dr. Thorne called this a yo-yo effect. It is cruel, yes, but it is the mechanics of obsession. Look at the bad boy or the femme fatale. They naturally do this. They are unpredictable. Look at the charismatic leader. One day he praises you. The next day he ignores you. You live for the praise. Use this law carefully. If you withdraw too much, they will leave. If you give too much, they will get bored. You must find the sweet spot of anxiety. Keep them slightly unsure where they stand with you. Because when someone is unsure, they are thinking about you. And if they are thinking about you, you own their mind. Part 8. The Velvet Dagger in conclusion. The Velvet Dagger. We arrive at the final law. This is the law of self-preservation. How do you attack your enemies without looking like the villain? How do you destroy a reputation without leaving fingerprints? You use the Velvet Dagger. This is the art of plausible deniability. It is the art of disguising an attack as an act of kindness. Never attack someone openly. Open conflict is messy. It forces people to take sides. Instead, express concern. If you want to undermine a rival colleague, do not say, John is incompetent. Say, I'm really worried about John. He seems so stressed lately. I hope he isn't taking on too much work he can't handle. Do you see the difference? On the surface, you sound like a caring friend, but the subtext is, John is weak. John is failing. You have planted the seed of doubt in the boss's mind. But if anyone confronts you, you can say, what? I was just trying to help. This is the Velvet Dagger. Sharp steel wrapped in soft fabric. Use the backhanded compliment. You are so brave for wearing that outfit. I could never pull it off. Your presentation was great for someone with so little experience. These comments sting. They lower the status of the opponent, but they are technically compliments. The opponent cannot get angry without looking insecure. Why are you mad? I said you were brave. The silent puppeteer never has blood on his hands. He is always the polite one, the calm one, the one who is just asking questions. He destroys his enemies by letting them destroy themselves, while he stands by and offers a tissue. This is the ultimate level of control, to be dangerous, but to look like a saint. Conclusion, the puppeteer's burden. We have reached the end of the archives. You now hold the 7 laws, the mirror of Narcissus, strategic vulnerability, the vacuum of silence, the illusion of choice, the reframing prism, the withdrawal of supply, the velvet dagger. These are not just tricks. They are the source code of human social interaction. You are now awake. You have taken the red pill. You will walk out of your room today and you will see the matrix. You will see people mirroring. You will see the push and pull. You will see the frames colliding. But with this sight comes a burden. You can no longer be innocent. You can no longer be a victim. If you are manipulated now, it is your own fault because you know how the machine works. Dr. Elias Thorne left one final note in his journal. He wrote, "Power is neither good nor evil. Power is like fire. You can use it to light a candle or burn down a city. The fire does not care. It only burns. You have the fire now. What will you do with it? Will you use it to build a legacy? To protect your family? To advance your career? Or will you let it consume you? The choice is yours. Or at least, I will let you think it is yours." Music swells, dark, cinematic, Inception style. If you found value in these forbidden laws, if you want to explore deeper into the psychology of power, manipulation, and the human mind, then you are ready for the next level. This is your channel name. We do not make videos for the sheep. We make videos for the wolves. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell, because there are more archives. There are darker secrets, and they don't want you to know them. But I will tell you. Tell me in the comments below, which law are you going to use today? The silence or the withdrawal? I will be watching. Until next time, cut the strings.